Welcome once again to Access Healthywood. Later, senior news analyst Brant Wafflespout will present a special expose on celery, the song and dance man of the vegetable kingdom.
But first, live in the studio, an exclusive interview with Richard Corm, star of one of the fall television lineup's real gems, The New Adventures of Butch Tuber and the Kid.
Hi, I'm Chad Fitzwell.
And I'm Bianca Morales. Richard Corm is one of film's most familiar faces. Star of over 300 motion pictures, he's received rave reviews from the critics, his peers, and the public alike, not to mention more awards than you could fit in this bucket of beans.
That's some bucket, Bianca.
I bet you'd like a bucket like that full of nickels, wouldn't you, Chad?
Would I? Golly.
And just what is Richard Corm's latest challenge? Why, it's nothing less than the rough and tumble world of the television crime drama. Let's take a look at a clip from his new show's pilot episode.
He's out there on the streets this very minute, Tuber. I can feel it in my bones. He's peddling his junk not just to the highest bidder, but to anyone who can rub a couple of coins together. We gotta send a message. If you're caught promoting sugar in this town, we're bringing down the big heat.
Chief, I'll fall on him like the sword of Zeus. What have you got?
I'm sure you remember the Hole in the Tooth gang.
That's a hard bunch of mugs to forget.
You can say that again. These guys move into your neighborhood and the grass dies. Some of the old timers have been laying low for a while, but they're still around. This seedy character here, the Kid. Don't let his fun boy get up fool you, though. Also known as the Mangler, he's behind more decay in this town than I dare to imagine. Little Debbie Warbunski, better known to us in the trade as Big Dennis Warbunski. He was doing 10 to 20 up in Big Rock Candy Mountain until his pals in the Lollipop Guild arranged for his early release. And I guess you've tangled with the rest of this batch. The Captain, the King, the Magician, and the rock star himself, Sugar, a.k.a. sucrose, fructose, glucose, and maltose. Those are the ones we know about anyway. His last known whereabouts anywhere. Even more likely than that, everywhere.
That is the kind of television that nails you to your chair.
Richard, what attracted you to the character of Detective Butch Tuber? Initially, I mean.
Well, Bianca, I'll be frank. As an actor, there's nothing more enjoyable than getting to play the part of the hero. An interesting fact, though, is that I only got this part after first auditioning for the role of Sugar.
But what could a superstar like you have in common with a low-life, bottom-feeding dog like that villainous super creep, Sugar?
Well, not many people know this, but I myself am a recovering sugar fanatic.
Please, please, ladies and gentlemen, be still. Let the man speak.
Richard, do go on.
That's right, I used to be a wreck. You wouldn't have recognized me had you stumbled into the man I was a few years ago. I had to have it. Sugar, I mean, and I was slamming it, shaking hand over shaking fist. And if I didn't get it, well, I quite honestly became a monster. I know what's on your minds. You're wondering how I, dashing and ridiculously handsome film star Richard Corm, temporarily fell prey to such a fate.
Tell me quickly, quickly! I'm deliciously handsome too! I want to be spared!
Yes, Richard, please tell us.
The madness snuck up on me, see? I was up to my eyeballs in the full nastiness of the sugar lifestyle before I even considered that I might have a problem. Nobody could get through to me because I was blind to the fact that I was damaging my health. It was the juice boxes that did me in. They just looked so small and innocent, so easy to hold in one's hand, so easy to squeeze. And all the while it was staring me in the face.
What was?
The food label, friend, the food label. You see, the USDA, that's the United States Department of Agriculture, says that you should only consume 40 grams of added sugar per day. Do you know how many grams of sugar are in this one 7-ounce box of orange lava burst? 25 grams. Do you hear me? More than half the amount of sugar I should eat in the whole day. Can you imagine then drinking 2 lava bursts? Forget about it.
How could you do yourself in like that? What are you, nuts?
Chad!
What?
Don't you understand? I didn't know.
But it's right there on the food label. You just said so. Didn't he? Didn't he just say so?
I just wasn't paying attention. It's an old story, I guess. One day I'm sipping a little smashin' wild berry after dinner with a friend, having a poppin' pink lemonade at the office holiday party, but soon enough I find myself drinking Ecto-Cooler every time I'm thirsty, and everybody knows that's just a gateway to high C blast. It was like that with everything. In the early days, I would have a frosted strawberry Pop-Tart as a treat. After a while, though, I would have 2 for breakfast. Every single morning. Forget about me eating a real strawberry. If it wasn't artificially sweetened and smothered in a rock-hard crust of frosting, I wouldn't even give it a passing glance. I'll admit it. It all sort of looked like fruit, and it all sort of tasted like fruit, so I thought to myself, it's got to be sort of good for me. Finally, my lowest point was reached when I fell in with the underground pie-eating contest circuit. But heck, by that point, it had been so long since I'd had a real piece of fruit or a real vegetable, you could say I'd lost touch with reality altogether.